knows what makes them come here, or how they find their way. But time after time, they arrive on their own cryptic schedule. All at once, and for no obvious reason, hundreds of sea snakes claim this island as their private breeding ground. Armed with a potent venom, they have little to fear from the area's permanent residents, scavengers that steer clear of the visiting reptiles. But when the snakes appear, so does another mighty predator, the sea snake's mortal enemy. Sea snakes glide and coil through the Pacific and Indian Oceans. They are agile swimmers, whose conspicuous markings help ward off potential predators. Most sea snakes spend their lives in warm coastal waters, though a few have forsaken the shallows for the open ocean. One of them, Pelamis, now may be the most populous reptile on Earth. While they can remain submerged up to 3 hours, they still can't breathe underwater. All sea snakes need the air. What guides them is a mystery. Sea snakes may be using their sense of smell or possibly a sun compass to navigate through the water. Even more puzzling is their relentless pursuit of a single destination, a speck of land in the South China Sea that has earned the name Snake Island. As if pulled by some unseen magnet, snakes by the hundreds head for its shores. Along the way, a young moray eel is not much cause for concern, despite its posturing. In fact, a hungrier sea snake would likely turn this youthful eel into lunch. Larger morays, however, will not hesitate to take a bite. But with few exceptions, ocean predators have no taste for snake. Rarely threatened in the water, a sea snake is almost certain to reach its destination. That does not mean it is home free. A snake has reason enough to stay in the water and come ashore only under cover of night. Snake Island, which calls so powerfully to sea snakes, is also the domain of a formidable opponent, the white-bellied sea eagle. These eagles have nested just a mile away, on the neighboring island of Pulau Tiga. Not far from the coast of Borneo, the inshore waters here are rich in fish, eels, and sea kraits. Food is abundant on shore as well, and macaques will leave the shelter of the forest to pick crabs along the tide line. A 6-foot wingspan black against the sun calls an abrupt halt to the macaque's meal. Hasty retreats are a reflex on a predator-filled island, but the eagle poses no threat to the monkeys. This predator is interested only in seafood. Both male and female eagles hunt. The one who makes the kill often stops before going back to the nest and begins the meal alone. An insistent mate and 2 hungry chicks soon bring the hunter home. While the pair is busy feeding the young, another eagle invades their territory. The resident pair calls out a warning. When stronger protests go unheeded, it is time for action and an air show rarely seen on film. Seeing the intruder steal a fish, the female dive bombs into a mid-air tug of war. Round 1 goes to the interloper, but the fight has just begun. Now the 2 males will square off, and their airborne stunt work is even more spectacular. First, the ascent, as each eagle tries to gain the height advantage. The final approach, the locking of talons, and a helicoptering descent. This behavior, called whirling, is not actual combat. It is a display of dominance, a show of force, and sometimes a contest of sheer nerve. The invader moves on. This pair marks the victory with a triumphant glide, a reminder to any who may have forgotten that this is indeed their territory. On the beach below, other creatures are staking out a claim of their own. A treat for the monitor lizards, a dead and nicely decayed giant turtle. Always eager to home in on the stench of sun-baked remains, these powerful 6-foot-long lizards have reportedly dug up human bodies from shallow graves. Before long, they have clawed their way to flesh that is rotted to a putrid black slime. Squabbles over such bounty are inevitable, and there may even be some pushing and shoving. But at this banquet, there is more than enough to go around. After a day-long feast, the turtle shell is picked clean.
It's one of the most powerful forces known to man. Business.
For a world of information in seconds, CNBC, first in business television worldwide. Available 24 hours a day on cable and satellite. For more information, contact your local operator.
I ain't got no home, ain't got no schooling, ain't got no love, ain't got no name, ain't got no ticket, ain't got no God. And what have I got? Nobody can take away. Got my hair, got my head, got my brains, got my ears, got my eyes.
National Geographic Video presenteert onder andere Vulkaan, de jacht op de grote witte haai, Olifant, Land van de tijger, de woede van de natuur, Egypte, de geheimen van de farao's. Bel het nummer 0900 20 21 222 of schrijf naar postbus 118 4560 AC Hulst, Nederland. Of e-mail naar vdmvideo@glo.be.
As the tide goes out and the sun begins to set, it is mealtime for still another predator. Macaques venture out to shore to eat crabs and small fish the tide has left behind in shallow pools. Each will hunt for itself while keeping an eye out for the group's safety. A sudden warning, a quick dash for solid ground. A false alarm, this time. But those who hunt are also hunted, and all must be alert to danger. Especially with night falling. In the day's last light, frigate birds begin to gather and circle. They usher in the darkness over Snake Island and roost silently in the trees by night. As pale moonlight sifts through the trees, the forest floor awakens. Countless hermit crabs and thousands of small rats begin their nocturnal forages. This cool darkness, a pulsing mass of rodent claws and crab pincers, is the ideal setting for an eerie courtship. On the rising tide, the sea snakes take the island's rocky shores. Soon they have formed hundreds of slithering knots, several males wrapped around a single, larger female. Each male is actually trying to squeeze out his rivals. This demanding foreplay helps ensure that females will mate with only the fittest males. The female eventually breaks away, forcing the exhausted males to pursue her. She quickly outpaces them and continues alone. She is searching for an isolated spot, away from the crabs and rats. The fastest male is not far behind, picking his way carefully, following the faint trail of her scent. When he catches up with her, there is no time to waste, as other males may not be far behind. With a full-length embrace, the mating begins. More than the sea kraits will benefit from this union, as whole colonies of ticks live off these serpentine trysts. Soon, the island is throbbing and twitching with coils of intertwined snakes. Dawn on Snake Island. The frigates who brought in the night now take off to feed. And swarming crane flies announce the coming day. Before first light, most of the snakes have scattered, leaving only the ghostliest sign that they were ever here. This snake is getting a late start, and now must face the perils of daylight. A rapid dive out of harm's way. But time is on the eagle's side. The snake must surface for air. The special attraction of Snake Island for the sea eagle is quite clear. A virtually limitless supply of sea snakes guarantees a healthy diet. Snake-fed chicks are more likely to live to adulthood and one day produce chicks of their own. The snake's demise assures the eagle's survival. It is a beautiful abduction, a seemingly effortless kill. But this masterful hunter is not invincible. The eagle has no special protection against snake bite. A thrashing snake locked in a death grip could make a kill of its own. A closer look reveals that the snake did get a piece of the eagle's leg, but was probably unable to inject its venom. The eagle falters, but ultimately prevails. This time, a sea snake will suffer its death throes in an eagle's nest. But somewhere below, in some inscrutable corner of the earth, a sea snake has deposited her eggs. And the next generation is on its way.